Fabinho. No, not Fabinho. Firmino. Never been a huge fan, gonna be honest. Every time I watched him when he was in his prime at Liverpool, I feel like I always expected more of him. Obviously, I'm not a Liverpool fan, so I don't see him as much as Liverpool fans do. But to me, he was never on a par with Salah and Mane, so meh. For me, he's meh. If anyone says Firmino to me, I go meh. So Phil Foden is obviously, for me, his top stuff. And I would say, give him 2 or 3 years, he'll be world class. He's such a good player, ridiculously talented. Yeah, there's not much more you can say, really. Top player. Is this Fred? Is this our Fred? Oh, Jesus. Can't deny Fred. Fred gives it 100% every time he plays. He's got the best attitude out of all that entire United squad, apart from Ronaldo, obviously. But he's not very good. Bless him. He's not a very good footballer. He's tenacious. That's what every United fan will tell you. Fred's very tenacious. He gets stuck in when he can, but he's just not very good at getting stuck in. His passing's awful. His shooting's diabolical. But I do like it. I can't help but like him. Obviously biased because I'm a United fan, but he's no higher than meh. Giroud, never really. For me, I never got the hype with Giroud. Meh. Sorry, especially now. This is taking a while, so I'm going to try and speed through it a bit more with players that I don't really know much about. It's like Gabriel Jesus. Poor for me. I expect far more out of him, to be honest. Being a City player in this day and age, that City should only be bringing in the best. By the sounds of it, Haaland's coming in next season, so Jesus ain't going to be challenging Haaland, is he? Let's be honest. Sergio Abre was pretty bobbins at Arsenal, but since he's left Arsenal, he's been phenomenal for Bayern. So easily top stuff for me. No denying that. Who's this? Who are you? I don't know. Joe Gomez for Liverpool. Obviously, I don't watch him enough. Everyone goes on about Van Dijk, but I think he's rightfully had a few England call-ups. He obviously does well enough for Liverpool. Solid enough centre-back. I'd put him in good, only because I don't know enough about him, I guess. Jack Grealish probably should be up at world-class status by now, but he just didn't seem to be doing it for City. I don't think he's a Pep Guardiola type player, to be honest. He seemed far more involved in games when he played for Villa, easily their best player at the time. But he's still a class act, isn't he? Class player. So yeah, top stuff, low end top stuff. We'll skip that one right there. Griezmann, for me, another one, overhyped. Thinks he's the dog's bollocks. He isn't. I'm sorry, he's not. He's so overrated. I wouldn't say he's poor, obviously not. He's got to move to Barcelona. Meh. He just doesn't do it for me. Gundogan, easily top stuff. I think he's done so well at Man City. Fair play to him. Always a consistent performer. Was it last season he was getting ridiculous numbers with like goals and assists, or season before or something? So yeah, easily top stuff for me. Haaland, I think the scary thing is the best is yet to come with Haaland. If he does move to City and then proves himself in the Premier League, he's easily going to be at that world you got to talk about him being world class. For me, he's top stuff at the minute, low end top stuff. He's doing it in a Farmers League. Let's see him do it in a proper league and doing it for his country. I don't think Norway have qualified for the World Cup, and yet teams like Canada with Alphonso Davies have qualified. So why isn't Haaland helped, Norway get to, Norway got some decent players with Martin Odegaard and all that. So why haven't they qualified? That's, I'm not sure that is. If it's M, did Matip maybe? Did Matip have a loan spell at West Ham? I'm not sure. I'll leave that because it might not be Matip. Although it would make sense. Harry Maguire. Ooh. As a United fan, I would easily put him in the bin because he's absolutely useless. Probably the worst captain in our history. And, Ashley Young was our captain a few years ago. Whenever he's played for England, he's always been solid. Can't deny he's which is obviously why he still gets call-ups. Mates rates with Gareth Southgate. But I think that United shirt's too heavy for him. I think that captain's armband weighs it down even more. I'd have to put him in poor just because there was the expectancy that he would carry on his form from Leicester and for England when he came to United, and he's just underperformed. So for me, he's just poor. He's just poor. Kai Havertz, I can't put him any higher than good. They were making him out to be like he was going to be the next big thing when he came to Chelsea. He gets all this stuff for Bayer Leverkusen. He does really good. Not seeing it. Got the decisive goal last year's Champions League final. Don't remember much else in the game, to be honest, apart from getting that goal. So, yeah, he's good. He obviously can get better. He's only young, but yeah, we'll see. Hazard, at one point, Eden Hazard, easily world class at one point. For Chelsea, he was the league's best player by a country mile for me at the time. And then he left Chelsea, went to Madrid, became an absolute crock. So, I'd even consider putting him there because he's in pants for me. Because how would you go from being world class to being absolutely useless at Madrid, where you play donkey teams, man, and it's just not worked out for him. Jordan Henderson, at one point I would have put in top stuff. I think he's been a big part of Liverpool's ascension to the top, unfortunately. And he still is. He still does his part. He's still a good player. So I'd put him in good. Easily good for me. Higuain, easy. Bang. Pants. Never seen anything good out of Higuain. How he always got into the Argentina team, I'll never ever know. He just looks overweight all the time. He looks like he can't move properly. I've never seen anything out of... Didn't Chelsea sign him for a bit? Absolutely useless. Mats Hummels. Jesus, if we're talking 5 or 6 years ago, maybe. Didn't realise Mats Hummels was still going. So, because of that, meh. Zlatan, he's a legend for me. You can't deny Zlatan's a legend of the game, isn't he? And this isn't even biased because he played for Man United. If he didn't make a move to Man United, he'd be a legend for me because just everything he's done wherever he's gone. Countless league titles. I love how full of himself he is. He's so confident. That was the beauty of when he played for Man United. He was so full of himself and so confident in himself that he was good. He didn't matter how old he was. The main thing is he gave it his all for United, which is all I can ask for from this useless bunch that we got at the minute. But hey ho, legend, easy. Is that Insigne? I don't know how you pronounce it. I don't know enough about the guy. Same as this, a lot of these Italian ones I'm not going to know much about. Is that Immobile? I know enough about this guy. To me, he's never looked that good. So I would put him in pants. I'm going to leave Insigne because I don't know much about him. Who's this now? I should know that. I should know you. Why don't I know you? Oh my god, there's still loads. What's his name? Rodriguez. James Rodriguez. another one, had all the potential in the world, never fulfilled it. So, good. He looked okay when he came to Everton, had a few good games. Dan James, meh. Not Man United standard. Obviously, Man United standard now, but in terms of what we should be and what we used to be, he's not that standard a winger. João Felix looks really good whenever I see him, but doesn't really do much more than that. Joe Linton, oof. Apparently he's getting a few goals now for Newcastle. I'm not really paying much attention, but anytime I did watch him before this season, bless him, he didn't look very good. So we'll put him in poor, just because we need to fill out the poor. Dani Alves. No, not Dani Alves. What's his name? No, it's Dani Alves, isn't it? I don't know. I think he's knocking on now. Jorginho, good, solid midfielder. Absolutely not the third best player in the world or whatever they're claiming he is now. Harry Kane, can't deny, top stuff. Not world class for me. Not consistent enough. But if he stayed up the pitch like he should do, more than trying too hard to be, I'm Michael Jordan, I want to be Michael Jordan of football. No, it doesn't work that way, Harry Kane. If you're a centre forward, stay up front. You're the centre forward chief. But yeah, he's easily top stuff. Knocking on a bit now though. Kante, for me, legend of the game. There's not been another holding midfielder for donkey's years that's like stood out like a sore thumb like Kante does. Unbelievable holding midfielder. Kasper Schmeichel, good. Not much more you can say. Moise Keane or whatever. Poor. He looked alright when he got going for Juve, but for Everton, didn't do anything. But still ended up with a move to PSG or something like that. Or Bayern, I can't remember. But how that happened. Kepa, you can join Di Maria in the bin. Absolute clown of a goalkeeper. Is that Joshua Kimmich? I don't know much about him now. A few years ago, he was like unbelievable player. He might still be. So I think I'd still put him in top stuff because you can't deny he is still a class player. Koulibaly, a lot of hype about him coming to United. It never actually happened. I think he was linked with Liverpool as well before they got Kouyaté. But, you know, a lot of the big clubs going in for him. He must be quite good. So we'll put him there. Kovacic, for me, I can't put him in world class, even though I kind of want to. I love Kovacic. I think he's such a good footballer. Toni Kroos, can't deny, legend of the game. Won everything countless times, hasn't he? Obviously knocking on a bit now, but yeah, easily a legend. This is a lot bigger than I anticipated it being, so we're gonna really get through these as quickly as we can now. Sergio Aguero, another City player, can't deny, should be a legend. Retired now, unfortunately, but he was absolute class when he was in the Premier League. Lacazette, meh, nothing more to say about you. Laporte, good, nothing special about him. Is that Leno, Arsenal, pants? It's the reason you got replaced by Ramsdale, who's also a clown. Lewandowski, I won't call him a legend, but he's world class. He's up there with Benzema, isn't he? He's of the same sort of standard as Jesse Lingard. Jesus. Meh. Looked really good when he went to West Ham last season because he was obviously allowed to express himself for whatever reason. He looked far better for West Ham. Came back to United, thought he'd stay. Whether he was forced to or not, God knows what's going on at that club at the minute. But he looks absolutely useless every time he comes on. So, meh. Loris, another clown. Good shot stopper, though. Put him in good. He's fine. Don't recognise you, so we're going straight to Lucas Moura. Good. Yeah, what more can you say about Moura? Got those goals to send Spurs to the Champions League final. Did really well. Never really gone on from that. Lukaku, in the bin. Absolute useless. Can't control the ball. Got no first touch. Can barely move. Not too bad when the ball's in the box and he's got a free shot on goal. What more can you say? He's way overrated. James Maddison, good. He's another one. Load of potential. Never really. He should have moved on from Leicester a year or two ago, but he never did. Mahrez, I think Mahrez is easily top stuff. I think if he played for City more consistently, if he was a regular starter for them, which I know there aren't many of in a Pep Guardiola team, but if he was starting regular for them, like pretty much every week, I think he could be world class. I do really love Mahrez. Outstanding when Leicester won the league. Sadio Mane, pains me, but he's world class. You can't deny Mane is not world class, as well as his teammate, who I'm sure will come up very shortly. Marcelo, is he still going? I don't think he is. Obviously, in his day, he was good. He was a little scumbag, but I'll put him in there for now. He can help fill out meh. Rashford, at the minute, we're talking meh. Him and Lingard belong together in meh. Not cutting it for United at the minute. Looks sulky every time he's playing. Attitude's not there for me. Doing amazing things for the kids and all that. Feeding the kids their school lunch or whatever he's done. But football side, useless. He's not doing it this season. Is this that lad, that Arsenal youngster, who actually looks really good? But I've not seen enough of him, so I put him top end of good. Marshall, I would put him. Marshall's another one. It's just meh is just going to be full of Man United players at the minute, because that's all they are. They're just meh. They've shown glimpses in the past that what they can do, but no, it's just commitment's not there from them, and it's not good enough. Is that Argentinian lad? I don't know much about him. Nemanja Matic, now. I wouldn't put him a legend. He's obviously come to the end of his career. He's not a legend for me. He was a very solid holding midfielder. Did the job for all of Jose Mourinho's teams, and he's probably going to join him next season at Roma. But he's easily good. He's our best holding midfielder by far. There's not much more I can say about him. Mbappe he joins Haaland, really. No, he can't. Because he's actually won stuff. So he's... I don't really want to put Mbappe in world class just yet, because I still think he's got weaknesses in his game. He's got a shit attitude from what I've heard. So for me, he's top end of top stuff, on the verge of world class. I need to see more from him. PSG need to win the Champions League. He needs something like that. But he's obviously got to be up there because he won the World Cup with France and everything. So Scott McTominay, another one. Meh. He's got a much better attitude than most at Man United, but he's not a holding midfielder, and they keep playing him at holding midfield. So decent box-to-box player if he had the chance, maybe. I recognise you, but I can't. Yeah, I can't. So we're going to go straight to Lionel Messi, who is obviously a legend. He'd have to be top-end legend, wouldn't he? Because he's Lionel Messi. We've done a whole episode on Messi versus Ronaldo, so go watch that and listen to how much arse bums Messi, even though Ronaldo's his favourite. James Milner, he's not a legend. He's obviously a top grafter of a player. Done the business for Liverpool, to be fair to him. I'd obviously put him in good. There's not much more I can say about Milner. Tyrone Mings, meh. Luka Modric, because I've put David Silva, I think Modric also has to be considered a legend of the game. Him and Silva, very similar. Silva maybe pacier in his day, but Modric is outstanding, and he still shows his class now at 37 or whatever he is. Legend of the game for me. Alvaro Morata, get in the bin. Useless, another bloody useless striker. Ended up at Chelsea, which is funny. Mason Mount, Mason Mount, I want to put him in top stuff, but I feel like he's maybe underperformed this season. Not that I watch much Chelsea, but I feel like I should hear more or see more of him if he's going to be top stuff. But he's definitely got the potential to climb up. Who's that now? I recognise him. He's not Keylor Navas, is he? Is it Keylor Navas? Meh. No, actually, he's a good goalkeeper, but you just don't hear anything of him. Manuel Neuer, he's another one. He's an absolute clown of a goalkeeper. I hate sweeper keepers, you know. I absolutely hate them. So, but I can't deny he's easily top stuff. He's easily top stuff because he's won countless things multiple times. But I can't help but I'm not a big fan of his. Wilfred Ndidi, top stuff. Amazing holding midfielder. Hope Man United sign him. I wish we'd signed him 2 or 3 years ago, but I'd still like us to sign him now. But yeah, you can't deny how good he is. Neymar, this is where it's going to get a bit funky. Everyone who knows me knows I don't like Neymar. One of the, if not the most overrated footballer of all time. His dribbling ability can't be denied. But like many others dribble as well as Neymar does. But it's the antics, the diving. I don't think he achieved much more. He achieved more at Barca because he had Messi and Suarez next to him. Both better players than Neymar, in my opinion. Went to PSG, wins that Donkey League most seasons, and that's about it. I don't know much about the Brazil squad these days, but they're tipped quite highly to do well at the World Cup, if not win it. But I'm putting him in meh. And this is my opinion, don't forget, this is my list. But every time I hear Neymar, I go, meh. I don't get it. He's an absolute cheating little scumbag. All he does, he spends 89 minutes of the 90-minute game of football on the floor, rolling around like a little baby. So that makes not a good footballer for me. So, moving on. Is that Oblak, maybe? Oblak, top stuff. We're going to say that's Oblak because it's an Atletico kit. Oh, him. That guy for City. What was he called again? Useless. He's in pants. Oxlade-Chamberlain, meh. Pedro. God, even at Barca, he was meh, wasn't he? Even though he was decent at Barca, but he was never good enough to be a starter. And he came to Chelsea, and he was just decent, wasn't he? So, meh. Pepe. Absolutely loathed Pepe. For the same reasons as Neymar, really. Spent most of the game moaning and crying and whining. And I don't want to watch that when I'm watching football, so... meh. And especially now. Christ, isn't he about 59 now? So, is that Pepe for Arsenal? Not seen much of him, but I've heard that he's like a big underachiever. Like they expected more of him at Arsenal. So maybe he goes into poor because you're expecting more from him when they signed him. PK. Oh. I want to put PK as a legend, but I think he's kind of just had it quite easy. If you know what I mean, at Barcelona, because he was there when Messi and Iniesta and Xavi, who are legends. I really like PK, but I just don't think he's a legend. I don't think I can call him a legend. I might be wrong in future. I might realise that, but I'll put him in good. There's no denying PK was really good and still is quite good. Paul Pogba in the bin. Absolute shocking attitude ever since he came back to United. Always thinks he's better than everyone else. Might be a nice guy off the pitch, but on the pitch doesn't look interested most of the time. He'll play one good game followed by 7 shit games. So, nah, not for me. Get in the bin, Pogba. I actually didn't think I'd have anyone in the bin, but, you know, filling it up quite nicely. Who are you? Dutch. Don't recognise you, sorry. Timo Pukki, meh. Heard a lot of hype about him after they qualified from the Championship, saying he's really good. And then in the Premier League, he was like a ghost. So, Pulisic, I think he's good. Should be better than good. A lot of injury problems. Probably one of America's best ever players. Not really saying much, is it? Clint Dempsey and who else? Landon Donovan. I expect more from Pulisic, but he's obviously a good player. Raheem Sterling, meh. Sorry, don't get the hype. Looked really good for Liverpool when he played for them. Moved to City. He never stands out for me. And for whatever reason, he's always seen as one of England's main guys. And it absolutely frustrates me every time he starts for England because I think there's better players out there. Ramos, not a big fan of the guy as a person, but he's a legend of the game, isn't he? Yeah, you can't deny he's outstanding. He was outstanding. Aaron Ramsey. Apparently he doesn't get in the Rangers squad anymore, or he doesn't start for Rangers anymore. That's what I heard. I don't know how he did for Juve. He was really good for Arsenal. I think he's helped fill out Meh. Raul Jimenez, I was a big fan of his up until his head injury. I really wanted United to sign him. And then since he came back from his injury, which, thankfully he did. But since he came back, he's been okay. I like him. He's a good player, so I'll put him in good still. Royce, is that Royce of Dortmund? Is he still going? Meh, he was really good at one point. Don't hear much of him now. Declan Rice, good. He's at least good. What have I got? Top stuff. I want to see him outside of West Ham. He's obviously doing really good for West Ham, and that's impressive that he's doing really well for West Ham. And they're tagging him at 150 million or whatever David Moyes wants for him, which they're not going to get for him. But I think when he makes the next step, he's then got a chance to go up into top stuff and world class. Because this is the most prestigious way to rank players, by the way. Just saying, super serious. Richarlison, in the bin. Sorry, don't get it. I don't get what he offers. He's got a face on a slap as well, which doesn't help, so... Robertson is... Oh, do you know, I was going to say top stuff, but... He is. No, he is. I think you can't argue with that, especially when Liverpool did win the league. He was outstanding that season. Even I have to say that. Cristiano, nothing needs to be said about Cristiano. We're just going to put him ahead of Messi. Because Ronnie's awesome. Mo Salah, at the minute, he's the top of world class, isn't he? He's arguably the best player in the world at the minute. And Liverpool should count themselves very, very lucky. And don't let him go. Sane, good. Very good player. Did all right for City. Moved back to Munich. I don't think I can put him higher than good because I've not seen much of him since. Jadon, is he going to be the highest ranked Man United player that I've got apart from Ronnie? I've got Bruno in top stuff. Christ, I'm questioning that now. I'm going by on his day, Bruno. Sancho is top stuff. When you watch him, he's an outstanding footballer. Hopefully, when he's got better teammates around him and he's comfortable in the squad, hopefully you see the best of him. But there's no denying he's a top footballer. So, that's him that we apparently tried to sign. Is it Milinkovic-Savic? Don't know much about the guy, so I'm going to leave him. Sergio Busquets. Oh, I hated him, I hated him at Barca. He was another one. Spent most of the time on the floor. Oh. Yeah, so any player like that, I'm just going to stick him in there because I just don't like him. Luke Shaw, he's good. Shaw's good. He is what he is. I think he should be better than good, but he's just not consistent enough. Thiago Silva. I don't think I'd call him a legend. And he's not... I think I'd put him low-end top stuff. He surprised me at Chelsea. I thought he would really, really struggle. I think the first couple of games he did, but I think he's grown into the league a bit. And considering his age as well. No, he surprised me, to be fair to him. And I think he deserves to be in top stuff. Same for this young lad. Massive fan of Bukayo Saka. I think he's going to be a absolute top player one day. I think he deserves a place in top stuff. The only way is up for him. Really good winger. Really good winger. Same, we're sticking with top stuff. Heung-min Son, awesome. Love Son. Yeah, there's not much more that could be said. Top player, fair play. One of South Korea's best. Soyuncu, well, he's better than Harry Maguire. They replaced Harry Maguire with a better player. That didn't take much, did it? Can't put him any higher than good, though. You don't really hear much of him, do you? Is that Suarez? He's not a legend of the game. He's not world class. There was a time when I'd have put him in world class. Low end top stuff, because he's still Suarez, isn't he? Class player in his day. Low end top stuff. I recognise you, but I can't. See, why can't I just like that? Ter Stegen. I know who that is because it's got his name on his shirt. Not really watched much of Ter Stegen. I put him in good because he was part of that Barcelona team for donkey's years that did quite well. So, what's he called? Thiago. Oh, it's just Thiago. So Thiago. I know Arth will be telling me to put him in world class, but he's not world class. He's really good. He's really good, and it's taken him a while to gel into the Premier League. I'd put him in top stuff because when he's got time on the ball, he's impressive. Can't deny he's really impressive. But I mean, Arthur was trying to big him up when they beat us. I could have played in midfield for Liverpool, and I'd have looked outstanding against United. So, but there's no denying he's a top player. Courtois, I think he is massively overrated. I'd put him in good. Did all right for Chelsea, did well for Chelsea, and then went to Madrid. I remember seeing a lot of clips of him fumbling balls and not looking particularly great. So I'd put him in good. He's fine. Trent is... Arth knows. Arth knows how I feel about Trent. I'm not a big fan of an offensive fullback who's useless at defending. I don't think he's a particularly good defender at all, but there's no denying that he can whip in an amazing cross and he can score a banger every now and then. He's not world class. He is... I think he's next to Robertson. Him and Robertson are quite similar, but I prefer Robertson. That's the thing. I would rather have Robertson in my team than Trent. But people love the fact that he can hit a free kick and he can whip in a cross. But if that's what he's so good at, why is he not a winger? If he's a winger, it's different gravy then. For wingers doing that. But he's absolutely useless at defending. I'm sorry, he's useless at defending. Donnie Van Der Beek, bit disappointing since he's come to United. But, you know, there's no denying there's a player there. He just needs to be coached properly. And with Erik ten Hag coming to United, he might get that coach that he needs. The coach that knows him as well, that made the player that he is. So he's definitely good. Rafael Varan. I'm not sold on Rafael Varan at all. I was never really a huge fan of his when he was at Madrid. I think Ramos carried him through a lot of those glory years. And it's kind of showing a little bit at United. He looks so nervous at times. And he's constantly injured. He's obviously a decent defender. So I'll put him in good. I can't put him higher than good. And it pains me as a United fan to do that. Jamie Vardy. There's probably a case for him to be a legend. He's definitely, arguably a Premier League legend. Especially coming into it at like reaching 30 or whatever. And he's still going now. Very quiet season this year. But Jamie Vardy is top stuff for me. He's been such a good forward for the Premier League the last few years, so he deserves his spot in low-end top stuff just because he's gone quiet. Marco Verratti, for me, top stuff. Great midfielder. I'd love for United to sign him, but again, I wanted us to sign him about 3 or 4 years ago, and I'm pretty sure Eric Cantona called him the best player in the world about 3 or 4 years ago, which is why I was probably like checking him out and stuff, but yeah, he's easily top stuff. Is that Vertonghen? Jan Vertonghen. Yeah. It's not poor, but again, it's just the time, isn't it? He's past his time. Victor Lindelof, meh. I don't mind Lindelof. If I was going to do a big squad reshuffle at United, I'd keep Lindelof as a squad player, but he's not a starter. Vidal had like a year or two where he looked really good, but now, meh. Vinicius Jr., I hear a lot of good stuff about him. He's got to be low end top stuff. All the potential in the world. We'll see what happens with him. Virgil van Dijk. Again, I'm not on the Virgil van Dijk hype train. There's no denying he's arguably one of the best centre backs out there at the minute, but he's definitely not of the calibre of what centre backs used to be for me. But there's no denying he's a good player, so don't mince my words, don't twist what I say. He's obviously a good player, but I think there's been far better than Van Dijk in the past. That Kyle Walker, he's good, isn't he? He's fast. You know, the only reason he gets picked is because he's fast. So there you go. Timo Werner, I feel sorry for Werner. I like Werner, but he's just not very good at finishing, especially since he joined Chelsea. So I'll put him in there, but... Oh, delivery man interrupted me. But yeah, basically, I like Werner, but nah. He's in there, isn't he? Wijnaldum, I'm a big fan of Wijnaldum. I don't know how he's doing for PSG, but I think Liverpool were a bit daft letting him go. Good. Just because he was just very reliable, wasn't he? He was solid, but Willian, in his day, awesome. At the most low-end top stuff, but now I didn't realise he was still playing. I thought he was retired. He might be, but now, and I'll put him in good because he was all right, wasn't he? I didn't mind Willian. Wished we'd signed him a while back. Xhaka, nah, I don't get Xhaka. Zaha, he's good, isn't he? But he had a chance at United, never really worked out for him for whatever reason. Went back to Palace, and then he just shows up every now and then, doesn't he, with a class goal or whatever. And last but not least, Ziyech for Chelsea. And this is going to end with the most exciting... Nah. Sorry. I kind of expected more from him when he moved from Ajax. A lot of hype about him, but... He looks a bit weak for the Premier League, but... Yeah. That's that. So, there you go. That's my list of all the best current footballers. So, I'm not going to name them all because it could take a while. But, it was quite fun. So, maybe we'll do more of these in future and we'll get Josh and Arth involved. But there you go. That's how I would rank them. I'll link the tier list in the description below as well. You can do your own list and send it to us through Instagram or something. I don't know. But yeah, just let us know if you think I'm absolute batty with where I've put some players. I know I'm going to get pelters for some of them, but it's just my opinion, Chill out, guys. Opinions, we've all got them. So, anyway, thanks for watching. Please like the video. Please subscribe to the channel. Follow us on Instagram and everything else. Facebook, Twitter. We're on it all. And, stay tuned for more, GAC has only just begun, baby. Hell yeah.